Hey everybody, welcome to your first unit of statistics. This unit is called Testing Claims in Sports, and this is section 1.1, Modeling Athletic Performance. The first thing that we're going to talk about is streaky shooting. In 2015, Steph Curry won his first National Basketball Association NBA's Most Valuable Player award and helped the Golden State Warriors win the championship over LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Although Steph Curry does many things well, he is most famous for his ability to shoot, often boasting streaks of several made shots in a row. But is he a streaky shooter? Does being a good shooter mean that he's a streaky shooter? Or are the outcomes of his shots independent? These are all questions that we will learn how to answer using statistics in this unit. So before we get started, we need to go over some vocabulary. The first set of vocabulary is a streak is a set of one or more consecutive outcomes that are all the same. In the sequence WWWL, there are two streaks. One streak of 3 wins and a streak of 1 loss. So we count the streaks by the number of consecutive outcomes. So since there are 3 wins happen in a row, that's your first streak, and then that loss is its own individual streak. Next, an athlete is streaky if he or she tends to have streaks longer than expected by random chance alone. Outcomes of an athlete's attempts are independent if his or her ability to be successful is the same following a successful attempt and following an unsuccessful attempt. In general, 2 events are independent if knowing the outcome of one event does not change the outcome of another event. To model real-life situations, we will use equations and graphs to represent the real-life situation. In sports, we can use the following model when analyzing an athlete's or a team's performance. So to find out about their performance, we are going to take their ability and apply random chance. We can also apply this model to any predictable behavior when we know a bit about the situation. Remember that ability and performance are not the same. We will go over some vocabulary here about performance and ability. Ability is a true but unknown value that describes the athlete or team, what the athlete or team would do, and if given an infinite number of opportunities in a specific context. So an ability is what can be done. A performance is what the athlete or team did in a limited number of opportunities in a specific context. So, ability is what can be done, performance is what actually happens. We use performance to estimate an athlete or team's ability. Random chance describes the variation between an athlete's performance and ability. So if we look at this problem, in the 2016 Summer Olympics, U.S. volleyball player Kim Hill served the ball 18 times in the bronze medal match. Of those serves, 22%, or 4 out of 18, were aces. In this context, explain the difference between performance and ability. Since the problem states an actual performance of Kim Hill, this information only shows a small amount of her ability. If Kim could attempt serving the ball millions of times in this context, that would give us a better understanding of her ability. Her performance in this match is only an estimate of her ability. In this context, do you see that's italicized in our response? When we say in this context, we have to say millions of serves in this context because that means everything that could affect her performance remains the same. So if we're talking about in this context, nothing would ever change. We would have the same opponent, the same ball, the same court, the same environmental conditions, and so on. It also means that the millions of attempts don't wear her out or cause her to improve due to the massive amount of practice.